it's so good to have you here today. My name is Diana, and for today's practice, you'll need a sturdy chair without wheels, like a kitchen chair. I just took a training for yoga teachers on resilience. I took it virtually at the Konalani Yoga Ashram in Kona, Hawaii, and I wanted to share some of the tools that I learned with you. They have more trainings coming up, so I'll put a link in the comments below in case you'd like to learn more. We'll start sitting with some centering, and please scoop forward to sit right on the edge of your chair with your feet flat on the ground, hands on the lap. And to center, we'll gently shift our weight from side to side. So to me, resilience means feeling whatever is coming up. It means welcoming and giving space to all the sensations in my life, in the body, in the mind, even the things that are uncomfortable or that are happening during a crisis. And this is really different from my normal pattern of when something uncomfortable comes up, being like not willing to feel it, or I ignore it, or I try to fix it right away. And so to me, resilience is acknowledging and even welcoming all those aspects of my being. So during today's class, we're going to slow down and practice having more awareness of all aspects of our yoga practice. So right now we're slowing down and we're rocking so that we can find our center for a short meditation. You might rock so slowly and so subtly that someone couldn't even tell that you're moving. And during our meditation, feel free to continue this or any other movement that your body is interested in right now. Bring your awareness to your body in this moment. No need to make any changes or have any judgments. Notice your breathing. Notice your mind. And bring your focus to the heart. And they say that the more you feel, the better you feel. So we'll move slowly into the movements of our yoga today. And take your time to notice the sensations that arise. We'll activate the deep core by bringing our hands to our hips. And we're going to try backwards breathing, opposite of how we normally breathe in yoga. So we're going to stay here to inhale. And with the exhale, lift one foot any amount off the floor for seated marching. Inhale to lower that foot back to the floor. Switch sides. Exhale to lift the other foot. And inhale to lower. Continue at your own pace. And I have a tendency to rush through my day to try and get as much done as I can, which means I try and rush through yoga to get as much done as I can. So there's no hurry here. There's nothing to get done. And in fact, when I slow down with this movement, I feel all the stabilizing muscles that are involved. And it actually is harder. It actually takes a lot more strength to use the entire breath. And with the backwards breath, the exhale to lift allows me to press the grounded foot into the floor and lift up taller through the crown of the head. And the inhale to use the strength at the hip flexor where the top of the thigh meets the belly to slowly lower down. Next time your feet meet the floor, take your time to get there. Lower your hands to your lap and see what feels differently after that. So this time we'll inhale and imagine you're inflating. As you slide your heel along the floor, reach your hand out to the side and imagine you're deflating as you slide your heel in and lower your hand back to your lap. We'll stay on the same side. I like to visualize inhale to expand and embrace the world, and exhale to contract, deflate, and focus on the self. Notice these qualities with 2 more rounds on this side, or whatever other qualities catch your attention. Return to center. Pause here for a breath. Does one side feel different from the other? Switching to the second side. Inhale to open and lengthen. And exhale to close. Feel free during this class to move in different ways than I'm suggesting. You might have imbalances in the body. Those are welcome here. Your body might be asking for something different than I'm suggesting. That's wonderful. Trust your body. Part of resilience is trusting the body, the mind, and the heart to tell us what they need, especially when we feel challenged. We'll return to center and breathe. Take your time to stand up because things might be feeling differently. What I notice when I stand is much more activation in the core, and to me that feels like strength in the low back. It feels like my feet are flat on the earth and like I have much better posture all of a sudden. Like my shoulders are back and the crown of my head is lifted and it feels really good. Please turn your chair sideways on your mat and hold on to the back of your chair. Sit about halfway down into a chair pose, Utkatasana, bending the knees and sitting the hips back. Now lift up about halfway from your halfway down chair. And now lift up halfway again. so my knees are still just barely bent, like you're just barely in a chair pose. Someone could hardly tell you were in chair pose. And we're gonna hold here and breathe. If it's too much for your back, please come out of the pose. But notice how less is more. As we breathe here, just a few more moments, see how challenging it is. You don't have to squeeze anything. You don't have to think about engaging anything. But notice how those deep core muscles just naturally brighten on their own to support your posture. And then anything that doesn't need to activate, allow it to soften. And for me, that's always the shoulders and the jaw and the breathing. Then we'll stand up. Notice how it feels. Maybe you need to shake something out. And catch your breath. Notice how less is more. A baby chair can be challenging when we take our time with it, and especially when we notice the sensations. So turn your chair, place it to the side of your mat, and hold on to the back of your chair. So my chair is off my mat and I'm holding on to the back, but then I'm going to shift my chair just a little bit so you can see my feet again. So stand tall. Step your right foot behind your left, and then bend both knees for a curtsy lunge. With your right hand, bring it in front of your belly and bow forward. Great. Now stand up tall on your left foot. Lift your right foot up to tree pose, Vrikshasana. Lift your right arm overhead, and we'll repeat that sequence with the breath. Take your time to feel the sensations here. So we'll exhale, same side, stay on the same side. Exhale to curtsy lunge. Inhale, lift to tree. Exhale to curtsy lunge. And like we did seated, you can inhale, embrace life, open to experience, and exhale, bow. Honor yourself and your space. 2 more on this side. We'll finish in the curtsy lunge and return to center and pause. Sometimes in this style of yoga, I've noticed the sensations are even almost overwhelming, and I need to pause or even skip a sequence just to give myself a moment to reset. You know, if I haven't been paying attention to my body or my mind because I've been so busy, it's surprising how much is there. So feel free to take that time for yourself. Or when you're ready, you can join me for the second side. Step your left foot behind your right, bend both knees, bring your left hand in front of your belly and bow. Inhale, lift the left foot and left arm to Vrikshasana tree pose. Exhale, same side, step back to curtsy lunge. 2 more at your own pace. Inhaling to inflate, create length and space for whatever comes up. Exhaling to bow, rest and reset. 2 more. After you finish the curtsy lunge, return to center. So less can be more, even though we haven't done sun salutations and all those big dynamic movements of a typical yoga class. Notice how the body does feel activated and how the mind maybe has some more energy and clarity. I feel the strength in my low back, the strength in my hips, my feet feel stronger on the floor, and my spirit just feels a little more brightened. For our last pose, Karmasana, tortoise pose, I'll demonstrate options for a chair and sitting on the floor. In a chair, you can sit on the edge of your seat with your feet wide. If it's comfortable, lean forward, hands on knees, or even forearms on knees. Sitting on the floor, a couple options here. You can sit with your feet out wide from your hips. Reach forward like it's a diamond shape for your legs, or you can sit with your feet wide apart, reach forward, grab onto your ankles or your feet. So whatever option that you've chosen here, let's go back to that rocking from side to side. Now that we've done some bigger movements using our limbs, expanding from the heart center, now we'll return, we'll recenter. You can make the rocking so subtle and small that only you can see it. You can move as slow as you'd like. Feel free to stay in the position you're in if it's comfortable, or to take a meditation seat to close our practice. Like we did at the beginning of class, we'll give space for whatever is coming up. Welcoming and honoring all aspects of our being. Practicing this skill on the mat so that hopefully we'll have a little more resilience off of the mat. You can bring your focus to your body, to your breath, to your mind. And to your heart. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I would recommend moving slowly into whatever comes next for you today, so that whatever you've cultivated here can stay with you a little bit longer, which really is possible, especially if we have that intention. And come back and practice as often as you can so we can all build resilience together. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.